The first question I have for the three of you is, what do you think the biggest gain in working across disciplines on this project has been? And
well, I will go first. That is a lot of what I have been doing since 2002. When we went to a laptop mandate, my job was to help faculty figure out how to use laptops in pedagogically sound ways in class. And that was when we started the Teaching with Technology community. And one day, what I had noticed as we were all sitting around this table throwing out ideas and talking about what we were doing, that we were all really listening to people from other disciplines and recognizing that there was something that we could modify slightly and bring to our own classroom. And I asked Ben Stevens, who is a psychology professor, why that was. I said, I see that it's real, but I can't really articulate exactly why it's happening that way. And he explained that from his perspective, that if it was a psychology professor who was offering him, sharing with him some ideas and ways that he had done things in class, Ben would be focusing on the content and in his mind silently saying, well, that's not how I would teach that content, or I wouldn't even include that content. I'd be worrying about this content. But when it's another discipline, you don't even get wrapped up in that content because it's not going to make any sense to you. So you focus on the pedagogical technique or the technology itself and how it's been used, and it frees you in a way that working within your own discipline doesn't.
Excellent.
I was going to just add something that we all three of us have forged a really strong relationship with the computer science department in the development of new tools and for use in the classroom and the tablet PCs, which has been very useful. Plus, I've met some people in biology who are helping me develop some really interesting applications for different levels of calculus. It's been very valuable.
Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Which part of that?
Actually, the really exciting part is the program that our colleague in computer science, Roy Pargas, has developed that's allowed us to share student work in real time in the classroom. And both Marilyn and Barbara use this. It's called Message Grid. And it allows students to see each other's work. We can post stuff anonymously so they can actually see the worked problems, inked problems just like their own, but they're able to recognize what mistakes are being made, common approaches to problems that are successful. They seem to learn much better from that than us telling them the right way to do things.
I can definitely see how that would be. It's interesting. I have a daughter as a freshman in college, and reliving the experience of my college years through listening to what she's gone through as a freshman. And I'm wondering what her experience would have been like. She has obviously nothing like the learning space that you guys have designed at Clemson in her classes, and I'm wondering how she would be reacting to more of a team-based learning environment which you've developed there. So I'll have to ask her what she thinks when she comes back from break, or she's done fairly soon. Okay, I think we have time for another question, which is, again, for all of you. And this is the big one. What advice would you give to a school or university wanting to set up a tablet program? What do you wish you'd known at the beginning of the project that you know now? Who wants to go first?
Well, I can answer a little bit about our student experience. I would probably structure the tablet exercises. I would probably have them more structured at the beginning of the term so that students become familiar with the tablet technology. That learning curve can sometimes be a stumbling block to what you want to do with the tablets. So I'd make sure to get the students up to speed on inking problems and solutions on the tablets.
I would like to add something. I think one thing a school should do is have a great technology group like Barbara Weaver has put together that discusses implementation. But also, I would say from my experience, you should pick your courses that are major hurdles for your students and put your tablet PCs there, because they have proven to be very helpful in these difficult courses for students who struggle. And I think that's been a real learning experience for me, how useful they can be for these at-risk students.
The only thing that I would add is, and this is something that I do anytime I'm introducing some new technology into my class, is that I invite them to join me in this adventure. And I'm very upfront about saying, this is the first time I've ever used this. I have a plan in place that I hope will work, but some things may not work. But don't worry, I've got a contingency plan in my hip pocket, and I want you to go on this adventure with me and help me figure out how we use this technology effectively. And I want input from you all along, and tell me, before you get frustrated if something's not working the way you think it should or want it to, talk to me. We'll figure it out together. And usually, actually, I can't think of a single time that any student has complained about that. In fact, they get excited by that, and they want to participate in that adventure, that exploration of this new technology.
So would you say that's the first time that students have had a instructor make a statement like that and invite them into a learning space like that?
Well, I hope other people are doing it. We've talked about this in our, since 2002, when we went to the laptop mandate. That was the approach I took in 1998 with the laptop, when I went in to teach in the pilot program for laptops, and then shared my experience with other faculty in 2002 when we went to the mandate. And it's applicable to whatever you're doing that's new, I think. And sometimes people are nervous about trying something new, but if you can invite the students to join you in this exploration and get them to buy into it, then you don't have to feel uncomfortable if something doesn't go perfectly. But you do need to have that plan B in your hip pocket.
Well, that's a great thought to close on.